The Enlightenment. A time in which close and careful scientific and intellectual observation for the application of reason and order to humanity could be wonderfully juxtaposed to people throwing buckets of their own feces into the middle of the street. The birthplace of the first legitimate approach of skepticism towards the conservative and traditional teachings of the Catholic Church, since Judas tried to convert Jesus to his healthy lifestyle dieting plan and suggest that he substitute the bread of the Last Supper for a much more wholesome pumpernickel alternative. That's right, humanity was now in the age of reason, logic, order, factual justification and explanations for events other than the previous community standard of burning people on giant planks of wood because of a severely convulsive bodily reaction to stale rice pudding. All of these glorious frames of mind coming together to form a new day and age for human society. And who can we thank for this wonderful gelatinous mass that oozed across the world like a delicious jam spread? Why, none other than some of the most famous and iconic characters from our 5th grade science textbooks and Insta-Qs on Netflix. John Locke was responsible for the theory of tabula rasa after an Australian regulations officer told him he couldn't participate in a nature walk because he was in a wheelchair. Wait a minute. John Locke was responsible for the theory of tabula rasa, proposing that the mind was a blank slate formed and shaped by environments and experiences. Sir Isaac Newton was responsible for coming up with the theory of gravity after grocery store employees tried to initiate a retaliation strike for the Sunday afternoon he let his kids run around unrolling the plastic bag dispensers and weaving a giant spiderweb in the produce section at Food Lion. The Enlightenment also had a profound effect on religion. On one side, Christianity generally accepted the innovations of the Enlightenment and used the newfound rational thinking to justify the existence of God. On the other side, Protestants used the breakthroughs in science and human intellectuality to develop more rational seating for Christian beliefs, advocating free will. And then there was deism, which basically taught that God created humans and then set up a folding chair and a glass of lemonade, like he was an out-of-touch uncle that couldn't be bothered to travel all the way to Pennsylvania for fireworks on the 4th of July, so he gave everyone in the family younger than 9 years old sparklers and aerosol cans of cooking oil and told them to run around the yard. Now, like a little brother on an elementary school playground, while it wasn't busy clinging to its big brother Europe, America advocated for its own independence and thus embraced the ideas of the Enlightenment with open arms, thanks to a guy named John Winthrop, another guy named John Winthrop, David Rittenhouse, who made a telescope, and John Bartram, who got his sick kicks from looking at plants. In conclusion, the Enlightenment was a very good thing. Not only was it responsible for some great math equations and statues shaped like cartons of milk, but it also helped pave the way for the progression of neo-American society as a whole. Now I guess all that's left is to wait for the next sociological enlightenment, when we can further specify the separations of church and state and definitively wrap our heads around the proper and accurate political connotations of the chicken sandwich.